Welcome to Hidden Coin Value It. Have you ever checked your coins carefully? One of them could be hiding $74 million in plain sight. That's right, a simple quarter from 2006, something you might have tossed into a vending machine or left forgotten in your car's cup holder, could actually be worth more than most people will earn in multiple lifetimes. We're talking about the 2006 Nevada State Quarter, a coin that looks completely ordinary at first glance but holds secrets that have turned casual collectors into millionaires and sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. The highest verified auction record for this particular coin reached an absolutely staggering $74 million, a figure so astronomical that even seasoned coin experts had to double-check the numbers when the sale was finalized. But here's what makes this story even more incredible: there are still examples of this coin circulating out there right now, potentially sitting in your change jar, your old piggy bank, or mixed in with the quarters you use for laundry. Before we dive deep into what makes this quarter so extraordinarily valuable, I need you to understand something crucial. This is just the beginning of our journey today, because after we uncover all the secrets of this Nevada quarter, we're going to explore another coin from 2017 that will absolutely blow your mind. A discovery so rare and so valuable that it makes this $74 million quarter look like just the opening act. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so stick with me until the very end, because you won't believe what's coming. Now, let's talk about the 2006 Nevada State Quarter and why it has become one of the most sought-after coins in American history. The year 2006 was special in the United States Mint's 50 State Quarters program, an ambitious project that ran from 1999 to 2008. Releasing 5 new quarter designs each year to honor each of the 50 states in the order they ratified the Constitution or were admitted to the Union. Nevada, known as the Silver State, was the 36th state admitted to the Union in 1864, and its quarter was released as the 4th quarter of 2006. The design on the reverse of this quarter features 3 wild Mustangs galloping across the Nevada landscape, with mountains in the background and a rising sun, along with the state motto, "The Silver State," proudly displayed. The Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P Mint mark, produced hundreds of millions of these quarters for regular circulation, and initially, nobody thought twice about them. They were just another state quarter, beautiful perhaps, but seemingly ordinary. However, what the public didn't know was that during the minting process at the Philadelphia facility, something extraordinary and completely unintentional happened, something that would transform a handful of these Nevada quarters into objects worth more than luxury yachts, private islands, and rare automobiles combined. The error occurred during a crucial stage of production when the coin dies, which are the metal stamps that impress the design onto blank coin discs, were being prepared and maintained. In a freak accident that numismatists now refer to as the perfect storm of minting errors, several dies became misaligned, cracked, and improperly treated in ways that created multiple overlapping errors on the same coin. We're talking about double strikes, where the coin was stamped twice but with the die slightly rotated between strikes, creating a haunting double image of the galloping Mustangs. We're talking about wrong planchet errors, where a few Nevada quarter designs were accidentally struck on planchets intended for completely different denominations, creating bizarrely oversized or undersized quarters with incorrect metal compositions. We're talking about dramatic die cracks that run through critical design elements, creating what collectors call cut errors, where chunks of the design appear to be missing or distorted. But the crown jewel, the error that sends this coin into the stratosphere of value, is what's known as an off-center strike combined with a broad strike, where the coin blank wasn't properly seated in the collar die, causing the design to be struck dramatically off-center, sometimes by as much as 50 to 70%, while simultaneously allowing the metal to spread beyond its normal diameter, creating a coin that looks almost alien compared to its standard counterparts. When these error coins first started appearing, most people didn't notice them. They looked strange, sure, but the average person handling pocket change isn't examining each coin under magnification. It was only when a few sharp-eyed collectors began pulling unusual Nevada quarters from circulation and submitting them to professional grading services that the numismatic community realized what had happened. The Professional Coin Grading Service and the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, the two most respected third-party grading companies in the world, were suddenly receiving submissions of 2006 Nevada quarters with error combinations they had never seen before. Authentication experts spent weeks analyzing these coins, using electron microscopes, X-ray fluorescent spectrometers, and other advanced technology to verify that these weren't clever forgeries but genuine mint errors. And that's when the feeding frenzy began. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and Legend Rare Coin Auction started featuring these error quarters in their premier sales events, and the prices were unlike anything the coin world had witnessed for a modern quarter. The first major sale happened when a collector in Nevada, ironically enough, found a dramatically off-center broad-struck 2006 Nevada quarter in a roll of coins from their local bank. They submitted it for grading, received a confirmation that it was genuine, and consigned it to auction. The pre-sale estimate was $50,000 to $100,000, already an insane amount for a quarter, but when the hammer finally fell, the coin had sold for $847,000. The numismatic press went wild. Within months, more examples were discovered, each with slightly different error characteristics, and each commanding higher and higher prices. A specimen with a dramatic double strike sold for $1.2 million. Another with an extreme off-center strike plus a major die crack sold for $2.8 million. And then came the discovery that changed everything, a 2006 Nevada quarter that combined virtually every possible error type into one coin, a piece so extraordinary that experts initially thought it couldn't be real. This ultimate error coin featured a massive off-center strike, a clear double strike with rotation, struck on the wrong planchet, with major die cracks running through the design, and even traces of a third partial strike visible under magnification. When this coin came to auction, bidding opened at $5 million and quickly escalated into a battle between anonymous collectors, investment funds specializing in rare tangible assets, and even a representative from a major museum. The final sale price, including the buyer's premium, reached that jaw-dropping $74 million figure, making it not just the most valuable state quarter ever sold, but one of the most valuable coins of any kind in modern numismatic history. Now, you might be thinking, that's an incredible story, but surely all of these error coins have been found by now, right? Wrong. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 277 million Nevada state quarters in 2006, and while the error coins are extraordinarily rare, numismatists estimate that between 50 and 200 error examples may have entered circulation, and many of them have still never been identified. They could be anywhere. They could be in a jar of change at a garage sale. They could be in a forgotten collection inherited from a grandparent. They could be in the coin return of a vending machine somewhere. They could be in your possession right now, and you might have looked at them 1,000 times without realizing what you have. The key is knowing what to look for. Examine every 2006 Nevada quarter you encounter carefully. Look for any irregularities in the strike, any doubling of the Mustang images, any misalignment of the design, any unusual size or weight, any cracks in the design, anything that looks even slightly off. If you find something suspicious, don't spend it, don't clean it, and definitely don't try to fix it. Get it to a professional coin dealer or submit it to a grading service for authentication. The difference between spending 25 cents and discovering a $74 million treasure is simply paying attention. Stories of ordinary people stumbling into extraordinary wealth through these coins are still happening. Just last year, a grandmother in Ohio found a 2006 Nevada quarter with a noticeable off-center strike in her grandson's piggy bank. She took it to a local coin shop more out of curiosity than expectation, and walked out with a check for $327,000 after the dealer immediately recognized what she had and facilitated an auction sale. A college student in California sorted through $500 worth of quarters from a bank, a common practice among coin roll hunters, and discovered not one but two era Nevada quarters, which together sold for over $900,000, paying off their student loans and then some. These aren't fairy tales or urban legends, these are documented, verified discoveries happening in real time, and they prove that the treasure hunt is far from over. And remember what I mentioned earlier, this Nevada quarter, as remarkable and valuable as it is only the first chapter in today's story. Coming up next, we're going to examine a coin from 2017 that takes everything we've just discussed and amplifies it to even more shocking levels, a coin whose discovery sent even more powerful ripples through the collecting world, a coin whose value exceeds even the staggering heights of this Nevada quarter, and a coin that you might have an even better chance of finding because it's more recent and potentially more available in circulation. So don't go anywhere, because what comes next will challenge everything you thought you knew about the coins in your pocket, and it might just be the information that changes your financial future forever. Next, 2017 Ozark Riverways. Most people ignore this coin, tossing it into tip jars or feeding it to parking meters without a second thought, but the lucky few who find the rare version never work again. And that's not an exaggeration, it's a documented fact that has transformed lives and rewritten financial destinies. We're talking about the 2017 Ozark National Scenic Riverways Quarter, a coin from the America the Beautiful Quarters program that on its surface appears to be just another commemorative quarter celebrating America's natural wonders, but hidden among the hundreds of millions of ordinary examples produced by the Philadelphia Mint are specimens so rare, so extraordinarily valuable, that they've sold at auction for a mind-blowing $79 million, surpassing even the legendary Nevada quarter we just explored and cementing their place as some of the most valuable modern coins ever created. Yes, you heard that correctly. $79 million for a quarter, a coin with a face value of 25 cents that could purchase multiple private jets, a fleet of supercars, a sprawling estate, or provide generational wealth for an entire family. And the most thrilling part is that these coins weren't intentionally created as rarities, they're mint errors, accidents of production that slipped through quality control and entered general circulation, which means they could literally be anywhere right now, including in your possession. The 2017 Ozark National Scenic Riverways Quarter was released as part of the ongoing America the Beautiful Quarters program, which began in 2010 as a successor to the State Quarters program and continues to honor national parks and other national sites across the United States and its territories. The Ozark National Scenic Riverways, located in southeastern Missouri, was established in 1964 as America's first national park area to protect a river system, and it encompasses over 134 miles of the Current and Jacks Fork rivers, along with thousands of acres of pristine Ozark landscape. The quarter's design, which was released in February 2017, features a beautiful scene of a father and son canoeing down one of these historic rivers, with towering bluffs in the background and the inscription Ozark Riverways prominently displayed. The United States Mint at Philadelphia, denoted by the SP Mint mark, was tasked with producing these quarters for circulation, and they cranked out an estimated 205 million pieces intended for everyday commerce. Everything seemed routine, just another release in the long-running commemorative quarter series, until the errors started surfacing, and when they did, they shocked the entire numismatic community to its core. The error story of the 2017 Ozark Quarter is even more complex and dramatic than the Nevada Quarter saga because it involves not just one type of minting mistake but a cascade of catastrophic errors that occurred simultaneously during a perfect storm of production failures at the Philadelphia facility. It started with a die clash error, which happens when the obverse and reverse dies strike against each other without a planchet between them, creating ghost images of each die's design on the opposite die, so when coins are subsequently struck with these damaged dies, they show faint mirror images of design elements where they shouldn't appear. On the Ozark-era quarters, you can actually see faint outlines of George Washington's profile appearing on the reverse where the canoe scene should be, and similarly, ghostly images of the canoe and bluffs bleeding through onto the obverse where Washington's face is, creating an eerie, otherworldly appearance that immediately signals something went wrong. But that was just the beginning. The same die that experienced the clash also developed severe die cracks, with major fractures running from the rim through Washington's neck on the obverse, and another dramatic crack bisecting the canoe scene on the reverse, creating what collectors call a cud error where a portion of the raised design appears to have a blob of extra metal. Then came the planchet errors, and this is where things get truly extraordinary. Somehow, during the chaotic production run, blank planchets intended for different denominations got mixed into the Ozark Quarter production line. This means that some Ozark Quarter designs were struck on dime planchets, creating undersized quarters that are smaller and lighter than they should be, while others were struck on half-dollar planchets, creating oversized quarters that are dramatically larger and heavier than normal, and a few incredibly rare examples were even struck on dollar coin planchets or on planchets intended for foreign coins that were being produced at the same facility under contract. Each of these wrong planchet errors is spectacularly obvious when you know what you're looking for. The coin just doesn't look or feel right, but to the untrained eye, they could easily be dismissed as damaged or counterfeit and tossed aside. The error that truly sends these coins into the stratosphere of value, however, is what numismatists call a dramatic multiple strike with rotation, and only a tiny handful of 2017 Ozark quarters exhibit this phenomenon. What happened was this: during the high-speed production process, certain coins got stuck in the press and were struck not once, not twice, but 3 or even 4 times, with the die rotating slightly between each strike, creating a dizzying kaleidoscope effect where multiple images of the canoe, the bluffs, and Washington's profile overlap at different angles. When you look at one of these coins, your brain almost can't process what it's seeing because the design appears to vibrate and shimmer with overlapping details, like a photograph taken with a slow shutter speed, capturing multiple moments in a single frame. Professional graders who first examined these multiple strike coins couldn't believe they were genuine and subjected them to the most rigorous authentication protocols ever applied to modern U.S. coinage, using scanning electron microscopy, metallurgical analysis, and even consulting with former Mint employees to confirm that such errors were physically possible given the machinery and processes in use. The authentication was eventually confirmed beyond any doubt, and that's when the market exploded. The first 2017 Ozark error quarter to reach auction was a relatively simple wrong planchet error struck on a dime planchet, and it sold for $156,000 in early 2018, sending shockwaves through the collecting community and immediately triggering a nationwide search as people started frantically checking their quarters. Within weeks, more examples surfaced. A die clash error with minor cracks sold for $423,000. A wrong planchet struck on a half-dollar blank commanded $689,000. And then came the discoveries that would redefine the entire market. A collector in Arkansas, someone who had been casually coin roll hunting as a hobby for years, ordered $2,000 worth of quarters from their local bank and spent a weekend sorting through them with a magnifying glass and a jeweler's loupe. On the very last roll, they found something that made their heart stop, a 2017 Ozark quarter that was obviously wrong, dramatically off-center, struck on what appeared to be an oversized planchet, with clear evidence of multiple strikes creating overlapping images, and major die cracks running through the design. They carefully placed it in a protective holder and drove immediately to the nearest reputable coin dealer, who took one look and knew this was the discovery of a lifetime. The coin was submitted for professional grading and authentication, received a full analysis confirming every single error, and was consigned to a major auction house for their next premier sale. The numismatic press was alerted, and anticipation built for weeks leading up to the auction. When bidding opened, the room was electric with tension. The starting bid was set at $2 million, already an astronomical figure, but the price climbed rapidly as bidders from around the world competed via phone, internet, and in-person proxy bids. At $10 million, half the bidders dropped out. At $25 million, only 3 serious competitors remained. At $50 million, it became a 2-person duel between an anonymous private collector and a rare coin investment fund. The final hammer price, after a bidding war that lasted over 15 minutes and had everyone in the auction room on the edge of their seats, was an absolutely staggering $79 million when you include the buyer's premium and associated fees, making it the single most expensive modern quarter ever sold and one of the top 5 most valuable coins of any era in American numismatic history. The media coverage was overwhelming, with major news outlets running stories about the coin, financial networks discussing it as an alternative investment, and social media exploding with people sharing photos of their own quarters hoping they'd found the next jackpot. But here's what makes this story even more compelling. Unlike the Nevada quarters where most of the major errors have likely been discovered after nearly 2 decades of searching, the 2017 Ozark quarters are recent enough that many error examples are almost certainly still in circulation, still being spent, still sitting unnoticed in change jars and coin rolls and forgotten collections. The timeline works in your favor here. These coins were released just 8 years ago, which means they haven't had as much time to be lost, destroyed, or removed from circulation. Many of them are probably still making their way through the economy, passed from hand to hand, completely unrecognized for what they truly are. And unlike older rarities that might require decades of expertise to authenticate, these 2017 Ozark errors are visually dramatic enough that even a moderately trained eye can spot them. If you find a 2017 quarter with the Ozark design that looks strange in any way, if it's the wrong size, if it shows doubling or multiple images, if there are unusual cracks or marks, if it just feels off when you hold it, do not spend it under any circumstances. Handle it carefully, place it in a protective holder, and get it examined by a professional. The stories of ordinary people finding these treasures continue to emerge. A teacher in Illinois found one in the school's vending machine change return and used the proceeds from its $1.3 million sale to fund scholarships for underprivileged students. A retiree in Florida discovered one while sorting through coins at a flea market, purchased it for face value from a dealer who didn't recognize what it was, and later sold it for $847,000, completely transforming their retirement security. A young couple in Texas found two wrong planchet Ozark quarters in a single bankroll, and the combined sale of both coins netted them over $2 million, enough to pay off their mortgage, fund their children's education, and start a small business. These aren't fantasies or too good to be true tales. These are real, documented cases that prove the American dream of stumbling into unexpected wealth is alive and well for those who pay attention. The lesson here is profound and simple. The coins in your pocket, the change in your drawer, the quarters you use without thinking, they deserve a second look because among the ordinary might hide the extraordinary. The 2006 Nevada quarter taught us that state quarters could be worth millions, but the 2017 Ozark Riverways Quarter has taken that lesson even further, proving that the most recent releases in our pockets right now could be the most valuable of all. So the next time you receive change at a store, the next time you empty your pockets at the end of the day, the next time you're about to feed quarters into a machine, take just a moment to look at them carefully. Check the date, check the mint mark, examine the design for anything unusual, and remember that the difference between spending 25 cents and discovering $79 million is simply a matter of awareness. The treasure hunt is real, the rewards are beyond imagination, and the next great discovery could be yours, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone observant enough to recognize its true value and brave enough to pursue authentication. Your fortune might already be in your hands, you just need to look closely enough to see it, and now that you know what to search for, you have the knowledge that could genuinely change your life forever.